and I don't go live much, so sorry about that. Let's see, is this still recording? I don't even know. Okay, it says I'm live. I am live. Sorry about that. Hey, Rich here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy spring. This is my first little video here, 2025, and I had a guy call me. Everybody's calling now, but I'm probably going to be slowing down on this stuff, or maybe picking back up. If there's something you'd like to see, leave a comment in the comment section, like the video, follow along. I'm just gonna introduce you to this machine right here that I'm working on. I got a call on this and the guy said that it was leaking oil, and he brought it over to me, and I can't see that it's leaking any oil at all right off the bat, and so I had to put some gas in it, and I will show you what's going on here. So here's the machine, and I just stuck a bag up underneath here because I didn't see anything. Now I do see it, and I'll show you what happened. But this is Briggs & Stratton Powerbilt 10.5, and it was had no gas in it, which was good. So he stored it without gas in it over the winter. And what is this machine that it's on? I don't know. It's some kind of 33 inch walk behind. Anyway, I don't see even a brand name on it. This kind of a generic thing with a sort of a generic Briggs & Stratton engine on it, Powerbilt. So maybe it's got the Briggs & Stratton logo, but I don't know. And here's the what I'm gonna do is go downstairs on my computer and look up kind of a exploded view of this engine, because most likely what happened is the oil sump drain back scupper thing. I'm just making this stuff up, but it's sort of like that. So it's kind of a scupper reservoir with a hole in the bottom that gets plugged up, and then the oil that is basically scavenged and blown up, it's the rebreather tube. It's like the crankcase vent tube, which is over here. That's where the oil's coming from. Anyway, that the breather has little drops of oil in it, and you know, in the crankcase, all that oil slushing around. You got the back pressure from the piston going back and forth, and it forces the unburned gases that go by the piston or whatever to get in the crankcase, and then it travels up into this breather area, and then it comes back to be reburned in the carburetor right here by this hose, and that's where it's leaking from. So either there's some major blow by, and this engine doesn't look too bad, although and not to get into a big class on why this is, but I think if you notice, here's a big tip. Okay, if you notice oxidation, like on these aluminum cases, oxidation is not like a rusty corrosion. It's a type of corrosion on aluminum, and it's usually like a white powdery. If you see that on an aluminum engine block, or the sump right here where it's bare metal, and you got that powdery stuff on there, I've noticed that engines that have been severely overheated have that look, you know, and this one kind of looks like that. That's the first thing I noticed, but it really doesn't have a lot of corrosion on it. So maybe it didn't get overheated, I don't know. But if it did get overheated and the rings got kind of seized up or something happened, you might be getting some excessive blow by, which would cause like excessive pressure to be coming to the recirculation crankcase vent line here. Or it's doing what it should, but when it goes into the reservoir to eventually drain back down into the engine, that little hole gets plugged up, and maybe it's just a trickle, but it can't flow fast enough back down to the crankcase, and then when that oil level rises in that reservoir, it meets up with the edge of this little tube right here, and oil isn't supposed to be going into this tube, just vapors, and maybe a slight oil vapor, but it's supposed to be unburned, like emissions, you know, the just the blow by. Just those gases are supposed to go in there, not oil. And that's what's happening with this right here. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get these numbers off of the case here, and that's where you usually find them on these Briggs. It's on the rocker box cover, so sometimes got to kind of rub it, get a better look at it. That's where they have these. So Briggs makes it pretty easy. Sometimes those Kawasaki's and Kohlers, it's a heck of a time to find the model number on those things, but Briggs are pretty good about this. So it's right there. That's where you find the engine model number, type, and then the code. And so if we look on this, let's see in the code there, so I guess this might be like a 2011, I do believe, or a 2013. I'm kind of looking through the camera, I can't really tell what I'm looking at. This might be a 2013 model. I do believe the first two digits there are the code of the code is the year it was made. Anyways, so that's I did let it run for a while, and it took a few minutes, but eventually I got that oil coming out of here, and it's coming out pretty steady. It created that little puddle in about 10 minutes of running. So I'm suspecting that, like I said, the reservoir with a little hole in the bottom of it to drain excessive oil back down into the crankcase might be plugged up fully or partially, not letting it flow down fast enough. And then as that oil level rises, it gets to the edge of that breather tube, and it just feeds straight oil down into that breather tube. And I suspect that's what's happening. And to get to that, you need to take the shroud off, take all this stuff off to get to where that little reservoir thing is. And I'll show you that. And if you like that, you know, stay tuned, subscribe, hit notifications, whatever it takes to get notified about what I find. So right now I'm just going to go look up a breakdown of this engine. I'm going to do a video of that too and show you how I look up, you know, the parts breakdown of this and see where that reservoir is and stuff like that. And going to go through it, see where it's at, and if it makes sense, I'll go ahead and take this cover off of the engine and get down in there and start taking it apart, correct the issue. Anyways, thanks for coming by, and see you a little bit later. I'll probably upload this or whatever. This is live and it'll be a video, but after I look up the parts and kind of troubleshoot a little bit from my desktop, I'll upload that as well. And also as I start getting into this engine and pulling it apart, if that's what it comes to, and it probably is. So stay tuned. Thanks for coming by. Hey, I see Jeremy is on there. Hey, Jeremy. How you doing, man? I'm good. I don't even know. I'm really not good at the live stuff. Right. I'll learn how to send messages soon enough. But anybody else that's watching, thanks for coming by. I'm wrapping this up. I was just talking about this machine right here with a Briggs. Sort of a Briggs engine. I don't know the history of this Powerbolt stuff, but it's got a Briggs sticker on it. Going to be troubleshooting an oil leak, and I think it's the oil recirculation or the crankcase breather. Right now I'm just trying to see where the off button is to stop recording. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Do that. Sure, we want to stop streaming. Okay, gonna